have about 36 pieces of equipment outside, as you've seen those. We have 5 helicopters that all have been flown by Kansas Guard. And we have 4 tanks, about 5 artillery pieces, artillery tractors, trucks, Humvee, Gamma Goat. 4 airplanes, 2 from the 190th here, 2 from the 184th in Wichita, and a whole lot of other equipment out there. Never an admission charge. We do take donations. The museum is operated entirely by volunteers. Some of it was built with volunteers, although this latest edition was put on with Kansas Veterans Scratch-Off Lottery ticket money that we got for 2 years. But we don't have any paid staff, so like Wednesdays is work day, and we have people come around here and mow the lawn and all that. And then we have a host, Colonel Erlina and Colonel Percy Pasqua are the hosts today. Some of you may know them. They were medical doctors, both in the 190th and so forth. We have our mission here is to preserve and present the militia heritage of the Kansas Army and Air National Guard from the start of the Guard in 1854 to the current day. To do that, we have about 36 pieces of equipment outside, as you've seen those. As you know, we have a number of events every year. As you know, we just finished having the Vietnam Wall here, which we were joined by every veterans organization in Topeka. And this was about a $19,000 project, and we collected enough money from everybody, Capital Federal and Capital City Bank and a lot of others that gave us money to support this. So we actually came out a little bit ahead on that project. Every year in June, we have, on the first Saturday in June, we have Heartland Military Day, which is World War II reenactments and Civil War encampments, and a few Civil War demonstrations, cannon firing, and that sort of thing. I know you've seen some of the Civil War reenactors before around town, so they're here every first Saturday in June. We have a pancake feed, and that helps us. We support the museum. We get federal money for utilities, gas, water, and electricity. Everything else we have to buy ourselves. And so we sell bricks, we have pancake feed fundraisers, we take donations, and we have major donor clubs and all that, and we seem to be doing all right. Right now we have over $500,000 in the bank that we've accumulated over the years, so we're doing pretty well. I want to just say a few before we start our tour. This room here is available if you need to. We don't rent it as such, but it's available for donations. And if you want to have a birthday party or a family reunion or a wedding or something, we don't rent it, but we do make it available to people that we know, and especially guardsmen, but also others as well. And we do have quite a number. You have to get on the calendar to get in here, especially in December when there's Christmas parties and things. But it is available on any day of the week, and we try to accommodate people. Let me just say a few words about a few of the exhibits before we start. Over there, that painting right over there, you see that guy looks like Theodore Roosevelt. That's James A. Naismith, the inventor of the game of basketball and also the football helmet when he was a captain and a chaplain in the Kansas National Guard. He went to the Mexican border in 1916 when President Woodrow Wilson sent the Guard to the border to take care of Pancho Villa, and he also went to France in World War I as part of the Kansas Guard. This is a TOW, an anti-tank weapon, and one of these was used to kill Saddam Hussein's sons, Uday and Qusay, who were in charge of the Palace Guard, which was the Fedayeen. And the sons were in charge, as I said, and they were Star Wars fans, so they put Star Wars helmets on the Palace Guard for Saddam Hussein. This is an Afghan woman, one of our female sergeants over there. This burqa belonged to her interpreter when she was in Afghanistan. This is an exhibit from the Army Aviation. You know, we had those sky cranes. We got one out back that left 10 tons. This This is a model of the battleship Masashi, which was Admiral Yamamoto's flagship until we sunk it in the Battle of Leyte Gulf. And this is kind of a Pacific Theater World War II exhibit. You notice the top thing is a blowgun with poison darts there.
That's how they issued us when we first got in.
Yeah, you must have been. This is Korean War. There's a 3.5 rocket launcher law. This is called a Dragon anti-tank weapon. And up here is the USS Topeka model that we're giving in the process of giving to the city of Topeka.
You know, there was a USS Wichita that was a cruiser in World War II also.
Yeah.
Probably the same,
size.
model.
It's a cavalry exhibit. Boot hooks and boot jacks. You don't see many of those anymore. And also feed bags and water bags for horses. This is a mortar exhibit. This mortar was used by the Kansas National Guard against the Viet Cong in Vietnam, and this mortar was used by the Iraqis against the Kansas National Guard's 169th Support Battalion, Bob's old unit, and in Iraq, and they went out and captured it. That's why we have a certificate off.
Is this a Willis Jeep?
This is a Willys, yeah. This is a late model World War II Korean War M38 Jeep. You know, there was the M38s, and then we got an M38A1, which was the next version. It's out front. And they had an M38, an M170 they call it, which was an M38A1 stretch Jeep that they used in the Korean War and later. And then there's the 151s that were used in Vietnam.
Yes, they were, didn't they?
One of those out front. Now in this diorama here, you can see a number of pieces of equipment. I don't know, Bob, if you ever fired, or any of you fired a flamethrower. I did when I was in basic training.
Didn't have them.
Yeah. This is what we call a Ma Deuce, a 50 cal M2. That's a World War II shoot. You know, they were color-coded to drop rations, supplies, medical supplies and things. And they color-coded the chutes were so that the people on the ground could see what was coming down. There's a BAR. Did you know that Bonnie and Clyde had a BAR? That's why they ran amok so long. And the old 30 cal machine gun.
That was the main squad weapon for almost, clear up through Vietnam almost. Huh?
I was a BAR man. That's why I went to OCS. Those suckers are heavy.
Did you ever get a picture of Eisenhower with the troops before they jumped on D-Day?
Yeah, we got
Sitting right over there. Used to be a teacher out of Highland Park High School. He used to come in and bring his uniform, jump off of his desk. Huh?
Bob, what was that guy's name that was the optimist that Eisenhower was talking to, the paratroopers there? I think he was at Highland Park.
He was a teacher.
What, at Highland Park?
Yes.
Well, but can you remember his name?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. Did you know that Hitler went to his bunker in January of 1945 and only came out twice before he killed himself in April of 45? I didn't know that.
Get a picture of that first. Jump over there.
What's the smaller pistol there? Is that a P?
That's a
Walther?
Luger.
Oh, Luger.
I think it's.
But isn't there another one there? Isn't that called a PK?
That's P38 Walther. This little Jew right here, who traded his cigarette ration for a camera and took all these pictures. He was just a BS in New York. But he, this was the 127 Field Artillery out of Ottawa. This is a flag that they captured from the Nazis in World War II, and they all signed that, you know. This is stuff from Bosnia and Kosovo. The 69th or the 35th Division was in Bosnia as a lead force, and also in Kosovo, and they're still in Kosovo. Colonel Roger Ashelman is in Kosovo. This right here is called the nuns flag. It's a 48-star flag made by German nuns in May of 1945 for the 137th Infantry in gratitude for freedom from the Nazis. And the red they made out of Nazi banners, and the white out of bed sheets, and the blue out of their own habits, their own clothes. Yeah. This is the history of the 35th Division. This is the 35th Division Hall of Fame that was inducted. This guy was just inducted, Orville Faubus.
Orville Faubus, governor of Arkansas.
He was in the 35th Division, all of World War II as an officer. And he wrote a book called In This Faraway Land, which is one of the best histories of the 35th Division in World War II that's ever been written. This guy right above him was just inducted last Saturday. That's Dwight Davis, was in the 69th Brigade of the Kansas Guard, got the Distinguished Service Cross in World War I, but he was an Olympic world tennis champion, and you've ever heard of the Davis Cup in
Dwight
tennis.
Davis.
It's
Oh,
named
yeah.
after Dwight Davis.
They've got a tennis complex in St. Louis named after him.
Yeah, that's where he was from
Yeah.
St. Louis.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
But there's a lot of other, this is Elwin Shoptease, who's from the Pottawatomie Enemy Prairie Band up there. Got a battlefield commission in World War II. Every one of these guys are just a story I can tell you. It's just unbelievable. This is an exhibit of World War I and II sheet music by Larry Wills, who was a music teacher in 501 for all his life. And he donated 244 pieces. We don't have them all on exhibit.
Over there. Over there. That's not.
Second and 130th Field Artillery captured.
Where'd they keep the water?
You put it in right here.
I understand, but how long?
Poured it in from their helmet, probably.
I was gonna say, well, how long would water keep that cool?
I don't know. Before my
Must be,
time.
have to read the operating manual on that.
That's it.
Gotta read it, find out how much water you gotta carry.
This is a 75 recoilless rifle. This is on loan from the Eisenhower Center. Is that? Oh, I didn't show you that. Over there is a 109-pound, 20-millimeter rifle. That's an anti-tank rifle. It's on loan from the Eisenhower Center.
Where you put, oh, the long thing.
So they are standing up there.
Wow. Is that a U.S. weapon?
No, it's a Finnish.
Finnish,
Finland,
okay.
yeah. This howitzer here, a 1905 3-inch field howitzer, sat in front of the Liberal Kansas Armory for years and years. And now it's here. I had new wheels made by an Amish wagon wheel maker in Kentucky. $987.
Say, that's a pretty penny.
Yeah, 987 wheel. Well, that includes the hub too.
What do they call those guys? Wheelwrights?
This is Francis Domingo. It's the Domingo collection. You probably know Francis. He
Oh,
made
yes.
the faith.
Yeah.
Francis gave us a lot of things, but those are some of his weapons. And here we have
That
the MASH.
infield there, looks like.
This is the MASH swamp tent in a 1942 U.S. Army Harley. This belongs to Bruce Zimmerman down at the Harley shop. This tent here, Bill Smith, who was in the 169th Sport Battalion at one time, bought this on eBay from a guy in Florida that had a whole complete MASH setup and donated it to the museum. You see up on top here, we got all the caps and hats from the characters, including Jamie Farr. We had him sign his when he was down at the dinner theater.
I see the first MASH movie the week after I got back to Vietnam. My wife couldn't figure out why I was laughing.
Yeah. See, the original MASH tent from the movie was destroyed in a fire in Malibu Canyon. And the one from the TV series went to the Smithsonian, over there, was on exhibit. And then they disbanded it after a period of time. And that's it. As far as we know, this is the only authentic MASH tent left. And that little layout of the MASH compound, a high school kid in West Virginia made that for a high school project. And then he got his grade, he Googled MASH and found out we had an exhibit, and he packed it in styrofoam and sent it to us, so. You press this button here.
Ah, see the nurse running, the blonde nurse running up to the helicopter?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, don't want her, but.